hey, you found me. And if you were on YouTube previously and just scrolling through and just this happens to pop up in your feed, you're probably one of the luckiest people that I know. If you came over from TikTok, I greatly appreciate it, but there's a lot to get to. There's no way I would have covered it in 1 minute, so let's do the real breakdown of what needs to be talked about. But before we do me a favor, please subscribe. Please consider turning on notifications, because when I release stuff like this, it's good to have it on so that way you get notified before the rest of the world gets notified or before they stumble across it, and you can take action before everybody else does. So, breaking news, the crypto entire everything, it's up. It's up double digit. Bitcoin, Doge, SHIB, they're all up. Do I think that the bear market is over? Yes and no. For the time being, yes, 100%. They double bottomed. Bitcoin double bottomed. Doge double bottomed. SafeMoon double bottomed. I think it triple bottomed actually. But what does this mean for what I normally talk about? And that's the economy as a whole. Well, let's feed it to the machine and let's figure this out, because everybody knows, just like the title of the page, I like using what I created, and that's trap economics. It's tools, research, algorithms, and patterns. This is needed because you need to figure out what everything's going to do as a whole and not just look at candlesticks, because in this instance, candlesticks aren't really going to do much for you. The tools you'll need are news and graphs. Give me all the graphs. Give me all the graphs from last year, from hourly graphs to weekly graphs. Like, that's what I'm looking for. The research, I want to see how the stock market, the S&P, the Dow, how it does versus the crypto market. If they run parallel, if they run opposite, so on and so forth. Algorithms, that one we won't really use in this one, because we'll use it, but we won't. And let me explain. Algorithms, by definition, is a set of rules. And we both know that there is no set of rules that this market follows. Everything can look great and awesome, and then boom, a CEO will get hit with this, or a company will get hit with this, or earnings will surprise, or earnings will disappoint, whatever. No algorithms. Patterns. I wanted to see what patterns there are as far as oil, as far as gold. And the thing we know for sure is gold drops every time that the market goes up, whether it's the stock market, whether it's S&P, whether it's crypto. They work 100% opposite to each other. So as much as one climbs, the other one falls. What I did find, though, is the average crypto bull run lasts about 20 days, give or take. In 20 days, the last time this happened, from October 20th to November, I think it was 18th, 17th, so a little bit longer. Bitcoin went from 12.2 to 18.4. So it went up 50% in a matter of 20, 25 days. While the S&P went up also, it only went up about 8 to 10%. So yes, there was increases. Yes, they ran parallel. But with crypto, because as volatile as it is, it fell and then kind of went stagnant for a little bit until January 26th when Doge took off. But the stock market as a whole, the S&P and everything, stayed up, but it didn't fall nowhere near as much. So in a sense, they run parallel, but they don't run parallel. I'm wondering if it is going to run parallel this time, though, because we had a whole different set of circumstances last time. We had the no worries of inflation. We had no issues with supply and demand. I mean, we had some, but not anything like we're seeing right now. So many different circumstances and variables that this doesn't tell me that the same set of rules that applied to the run back in February and the run back in October, it's going to be the same as this. What I mean is, if I had to, and I'm not in the business of guessing, but if I had to use the history that I have with how they ran the last two times, I would think maybe the stock market, and when I say that, I mean, S&P, Dow, even the Russell. I think they reverse, if not stay flat maybe, while crypto goes on another run. Because crypto's going to go on a run. It's broken out. It's Monday. It's June 14th. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm working while everybody's asleep. Elon's not asleep though. He's over here tweeting stuff about Pluto and Uranus, and So there's something going on. I don't know. He's up. I'm up. Like people are. I don't know. Mark Cuban's tweeting like crazy too about 3 or 4 hours ago. So something's up. You can kind of feel it. But getting back to what I really, really think, and I'll give you the analogy. I don't know if you've ever been to a casino or if you've ever seen roulette. Roulette's one of my favorite games. It requires really no skill. You just place your chips wherever you want and let the person spin the wheel. And you can bet on colors, you can bet odd even, you can bet numbers. There is this board right off to the side on roulette, and it's referred to as a dummy board. And the reason it's called that is because it will track the last 10, 20, 30 numbers that it hit. And so many times I will see people, and I'm playing the table, and I have a theory for how to win roulette too, because I've made real good money on roulette. Lifetime I haven't lost money, but that's a whole different thing. People are looking at this board, and I can see them thinking out loud, or sometimes they'll even think out loud. They're like, well, 12 hit 4 times, and it hit red 4 times in a row, so that means it's going to hit red again, and black's on fire, and I'm thinking there's so many different variables to messing with this board. Why would you use a board in history for something that's super volatile like roulette? Well, this is the same thing, because in roulette, the wheel spins and it slows down, and then it speeds back up and it slows down. So that's one variable. And I'm going somewhere with this. You may have a dealer switch out and flick the ball, and he flicks at a different speed versus the other dealer. That's another variable. Where the dealer picks the ball up and flicks it is another variable. One time he may be flicking it where it's between the 19 and 8, and the next time that might be on the opposite side of the board. So all these different variables with roulette carries the same principle into the stock market, into the crypto market, into any kind of investing when it comes to this kind of stuff. Just because stocks and crypto ran neck and neck and they trended kind of the same the last 2 times doesn't mean it's going to do it every time, because there's a huge thunderstorm cloud hanging over, and we all see it, we've all identified it, we're all looking at it, and we all feel it. Inflation. Inflation. We didn't have this problem with inflation back in October. We didn't have this problem with inflation in January. If we did, it was very, very, very subtle. We didn't really see the price difference in meat and gas. We sure didn't see it in used cars or new cars or anything like that. NFTs were a thing, but they weren't a thing. It was just a huge different set of circumstances. So, do I think the stock market runs parallel to crypto this time? No, I don't. I think the conditions are exact opposite to where I don't think it's going to run backwards from it, but it may stay flat. Do I think crypto is going to break out? Yeah, definitely. People have been waiting. I don't know if it's going to be another 20-day run like last time. I don't know if it's going to go up 50% in 20 days. And I say it because that's, generalizing. There's so many different coins and so many different cryptocurrencies out there that I can't just say one and, one goes up 50%, the other one goes up, 10%, or one goes up 5,000%, like some of the, the super, super, super cheap coins. But my whole takeaway from this is don't set everything based on the belief that whatever happened 10 times in a row is going to happen an 11th time. That's the biggest thing. You still have to remember that the stock market is part of the economy. But the key word is it's part. It's not the whole economy. because people like my family, they don't invest in any kind of stocks. My grandpa was the only one that did. So, and his brother, my great uncle, but kind of messed that up. But my mom, my brother, my sister, my cousins, they don't mess with the stock market. They don't understand it. They don't touch it. They don't mess with it. I'm the only weirdo that loves this stuff, and I love this stuff with a passion. I have for 20 years, and I absolutely love it. So that being said, their market is a supermarket. That's what they know as a market. It's their chicken prices. It's their chicken wing availability. It's the cost of gas to get to the supermarket. It's the cost of the vehicle that they got to put gas in if they got to replace it. If they can't replace it, it's the cost of the vehicle repairs, the cost of the oil change, the overall, the purchasing power of the dollar. So because all those conditions are now different from the last two runs, I'm curious to see what this week brings. I really am. Because the biggest part of all of that has been talked about, but let's put a cherry on top. Powell has his meeting on Wednesday. He's going to go over monetary policy, all his decisions. We're going to see what he says. We're going to see how he says it. I guarantee he's been practicing, probably with, I don't know if he's married or his grandkids or whoever, but I guarantee he's been practicing questions and answers. His tones, what words to say, what words not to say, because in a market like this, people are going to get spooked. And I really believe that's why everybody's overplaying this whole everything's fine, everything's good. But if everything was fine and good, they wouldn't be having so much emphasis on how good everything is. I mean, just show us everything's good. You don't have to tell us until you turn blue in the face. But they're spending so much energy telling us about it that right there is, it's the biggest red flag that I've ever seen. So just be careful going into this week. If you're invested in something, this is all, of course I got to say it's not financial advice, but what I would do is just, be cautious. If you see stuff going up, double digit, triple digit even, that doesn't mean throw your life savings at it. That doesn't mean if you get another stimulus check at it. That doesn't mean, sell everything, sell the shirt off your back and go all the way in. Just be cautious with it. People love holding, hodling, and just take your profits. And I know I'm going to get hate for it. I know I'm going to get grief. Guys, AMC, GameStop, I know. Let me have it. That's fine. You got to take profits, because in a market like this, you don't know. You really don't know. So that's all I got. Like I said, please consider subscribing. And if you subscribe, thank you so much. We're approaching 24,000 followers on TikTok. I greatly appreciate that. And I'd like to grow this channel the same way. I don't do Discords. I don't do courses. All this is free information. This is free for you. I don't want to make a profit off of you. I want you to save your money for something better. I'm not going to charge you for this or for that. If you want to pay me, just pay me in the form of subscribing. And turn on notifications so that way you can get woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning, letting you know that I put news out there. So if I'm doing this at 4 in the morning, it's probably going to be important. So that's all I got. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.